Okay, so I am joined by Charlie, a long-time ColdFusion community contributor and consultant to discuss ColdFusion Builder versus CF Code. Welcome, Charlie.
Hello, Yogesh. Good to be with you again.
So what makes ColdFusion Builder versus VS Code unique compared with other ColdFusion extensions?
Right, so that's an important distinction to make. So just for those who don't know, ColdFusion Builder is an implementation of something on top of Visual Studio Code, VS Code. So you're getting VS Code, and then you're getting CF Builder. And there have long been other extensions like Kamasama K's and Ilias and Vadim's, and now Boxlangs, and a guy named Gareth Edwards has, and his is currently updated as Boxlangs is. Most of the other ones have stopped being updated years ago, but people still get value out of them because they do what people want. They do most of the CFML support that they would want. Even if it's not updated, it's enough for them.
Right.
But the question was, why might one use CF Builder over those?
Yeah.
Well, it adds a lot of functionality, and I did a talk today on this subject where I listed the 10 things that are uniquely different in CF Builder, and I think you might be asking about this, but there's some stuff you need to do to make that work well. And if you don't do those extra configuration steps, then you might think it doesn't work well. But I talked about that in the talk, and my slides are available on my website, arehart.org/presentations. You can see the PDF. They didn't record the talk, sadly, but I may do it again somehow.
Okay, sounds good. So how does CF Builder improve developers' productivity compared to older editors like Dreamweaver or Sublime?
Right, that's a different question, and I covered that too in the talk, and it was really funny because you're asking me the questions that I covered in the talk. So, as I said, when I gave the talk, I understand some people still prefer Dreamweaver, still prefer ColdFusion Studio, HomeSite Plus, or they use Notepad++ or Sublime.
Right.
I understand they all have their value. You get familiar with them, you know how the keystrokes work, but VS Code itself is such a different editor, so much more modern than any of those. And when you start using CF Builder, because it's on Visual Studio Code, when you learn about what VS Code can do, that makes you more powerful. Then you add CF Builder or any of the CFML extensions, they make you more capable. Obviously the language syntax is supported, it's more modern, but there's much, much more than that. And there's some things that were in Dreamweaver and CF Studio that are carried over into CF Builder. So again, I understand that people prefer the editors that they have long used,
right,
but it's just time. I mentioned in the talk, Dreamweaver support for CF was dropped in 2013, and ColdFusion Studio last got updated in 2001, and HomeSite Plus last got ColdFusion update stuff in 2009. It's just time. For most people, it would be beneficial to use a more modern editor, and VS Code and CF Builder are a great combination.
Okay. Then what productivity features like security code analyzer make it must try?
Right, so that's a great example. The security code analyzer, Adobe added. Now they added it to the old ColdFusion Builder, which was built on Eclipse. It was there, but that Eclipse version of CF Builder, let's be clear too, that stopped being updated in 2018, and it got removed, it's no longer available since 2024. So the old CF Builder is gone. But in that CF Builder on Eclipse, Adobe had added the security code analyzer, and that's now in CF Builder, and that's not in any other CFML extension. Nothing else does it. And it analyzes your code and identifies security vulnerabilities and recommends changes, and that works directly with your code and your CF server. They talk to each other, and I talked in the presentation about how that's, for many people, that's half the battle. If they try to just open a CFML page and go, hey, it doesn't do what I want. But if you add these additional connections of defining a project and defining a server and connecting the project to a server, that's what allows tools like the security analyzer to work. And I said at the end of my talk, for some people, if they would just use it for that alone, even if you don't want to use it as your day-to-day editor, or if you want to use another extension most of the time, just use CF Builder for that one feature. And it's covered, and I offered links in the talk. It's all documented by Adobe. There's ample documentation of this stuff.
Okay, that's nice. So for developers used to Notepad++ or other lightweight editors, how does the shift feel?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's definitely different. And of course, anytime anybody moves from one editor to another, it's like chopping off your hand and trying to learn, like, you're right-handed, you have to learn how to write left-handed. I understand that. I did point out in the talk that both Notepad++ and Sublime, there are extensions in Visual Studio Code, there are extensions that are focused on making users of Notepad++ and Sublime feel more comfortable.
Okay.
So the shortcuts can be made the same, some aspects of the UI can be made to look the same, features are added that you're familiar with from those.
Okay.
That's not CF Builder, and it's not VS Code, it's the community of extension builders. That's the beauty of VS Code, is that there could be something like that where somebody goes, hey, let's come up with an extension that makes it easier to migrate from Notepad++. And there's such an extension.
Nice. So what's your personal favorite features of CF Builder?
It's a hard question to ask, like being asked what's your favorite child, right? Because there's features of CF Builder, then there's features of VS Code. And I think I would say that the Security Code Analyzer ranks pretty high because it's so uniquely available through that tool. There's about 8 other important features like step debugging and code refactoring, and I could go on, that's provided by CF Builder uniquely over the other extensions, but Boxlang has support for step debugging, but you have to use Boxlang as the server. Anyway, so yeah, I'd say probably the code analyzer for most people would be a valuable thing. If they just did nothing but that with CF Builder, it would be important.
Okay. So Charlie,
by the way, let me just say,
yeah.
Pete Freitag's Foundeo is right there. He's not hearing us. I'm not saying it because he's there. I'm saying it because I love what Pete does. Some people know that he creates Fixinator.
Right.
That's a commercial tool that you can use also to analyze your code. So if you use Fixinator, you don't need the Security Code Analyzer. But many people don't yet have Fixinator or don't want to pay for it because it's not free, but it's worth the money. But this is free. The Security Code Analyzer is built into CF Builder, which is free. And it's built on CF Visual Studio Code, which is free, so Adobe doesn't charge for it, and the Security Analyzer can now work with the free developer edition and the trial edition, so you don't have to have Enterprise. That changed a few years ago, so.
That's good to know.
Good stuff.
So Charlie, the last one, how can people follow your work or connect with you after the event?
That's easy. So Arehart.org, we show that, can you see it? Is that working? There you go. Yep. So that's how you spell it. It's my first initial, my last name, Arehart.org. And on there I have how to contact me, how to hire me for consulting, my blog, resources, and then I'm on social media, all of them, it's just Arehart, C. Arehart, on Facebook, LinkedIn, Slack,
same everywhere.
Twitter, all the same everywhere. It's easy, it's good to have a name like, you probably too, don't have too many people to have your name or your spelling. So anyway, the point is, it's easy to find me. So look forward to helping people however I can.
Sounds good. Thank you, Charlie. Thanks for your time.
Sir.